Hey everyone, welcome and thank you so much for being with me here today. It is Sunday, oh my goodness, July 16th, I believe. No, I think it's the 15th today. So it is Sunday, and Sundays are, um, are where we do the Sacred Sunday messages, and these are the messages that get to the heart and soul. These are the messages that move us, inspire us, that help us grow, help us move, and help us understand the energies that are with us in this moment and um, in the moments coming. And so please take a moment to just kind of breathe in and out through your nose, out of your mouth, feeling your chest rise and fall. Allowing the energy to clear so that you can receive this message and apply it appropriately. I am coming to you from Narragansett, Rhode Island, where I am taking a week on the beach to relax and unwind and just enjoy. And I wasn't sure I was going to be able to do that this year because, things have been strange financially in other ways. But I did receive some assistance with that from my partner, actually, because we're doing this together. And so I wish I could show you the background, but you can see a little bit back there. But we're on a bay in a cove, and it overlooks the water, and it's just beautiful. And so I wanted to come to you today, even while I'm on vacation. I'm still thinking of you, and I'm still following Spirit's advice and guidance, and you know, doing messages and things like that. So this channel was made for you, and because of that, I strive to keep it safe and free of all of those other energies that try to intrude sometimes, time to time. But uh, today I feel very attracted to some sort of energy that is, it's almost like I'm seeing like if you ever saw like a transparency film or something in black and white, right? Or when pictures develop, they go from, uh, you don't see anything and then you see the image developing, right? And so as I was meditating and praying over this message, I was feeling and sensing a sense of um, something developing from nothing. Okay, that's kind of what I feel here. I'm sorry, bear with me. I have to have my iced coffee this morning. um, as I was seeing that develop, the development of something going from darkness to, you see it almost like it's an interesting process, the way pictures are developed. And as they develop from darkness to produce the image that was taken, it has an interesting, it looks interesting the way it comes about, right? Kind of fascinating to me. And it feels very much like we are on our journey, and it feels like we're moving along, but then something happens. And I feel like for some of you it feels like you derailed from your path, right? Like you feel like you derailed, um, because as I feel like what you don't understand is that we are all human beings, right? We are spiritual beings, kind of piggybacking on this physical experience, or vice versa, whichever way that works out. I'm not quite sure at this moment. But it does feel like we are, and this is not negative, but it does feel like, yes, we are all on borrowed time in our physical bodies, because physical bodies break down after a while, right? And so that doesn't mean that we are all short on time right now and everybody's going to pass right now. That's not what this means. I just wanted to clarify that. However, it does feel like from when our energy was born, way back whenever that was, there have been chapters and moments in our lifetimes, in our adventures, in our journeys, where it does, one chapter comes to an end, another new one begins. Sometimes it is a total life change event that starts a brand new something for us, right? And so why I was seeing that image this morning of um, um, nothingness to a beautiful image, this is where we are. This is where we are. It happens. Some of you are experiencing something that is really just closing in your life. And I want to just say something about these readings, not just for me, but others. When they say something is ending or closing, it doesn't mean that it doesn't always mean that it's something catastrophic or something just traumatic or anything like that. Sometimes when chapters end, it is the end of a phase of learning in your spiritual journey. It is the end of a phase. You've learned all you can. And so now the door is open for you to move on to something brand new and begin a new chapter and write your own chapter, right? And so it feels very much like a lot of you are in that phase where it's you've come through something and it's closed out, and you're sort of at that phase where you're feeling your way through. We're feeling our way through because it is the very beginning of a new image, a new chapter, something new in our lives. It does feel very much like this is balance. It does feel like spiritual and physical. And so it should be interesting to see what these messages that come for us today. And so I thought I would start with the sacred spirit reading cards and see what messages are there for us. It feels like a connection between your soul and it feels like another human being. Okay, so your soul, your physical, your spiritual, it feels like your emotional. It feels like your sort of, as they say above it, what is it? Above and below. I can't. Why am I having trouble thinking this morning? That is too funny. As above, so below. And so it feels like emotional, spiritual, physical, all of it is sort of coming together in a alignment, or has been already for some of you. I feel like for a lot of you it has. And so now you're ready to move on. And this feeling within your soul is that you're not going to settle any longer. Okay? Pardon me while I sip. You're not going to settle any longer. What was once good enough for you is no longer. And we go through these phases in our life. If you think about as a child, there are certain things that your parents want you to eat and you hate them. Oh, you detest. My daughter hated peas. But then as she got older, she really enjoys peas. So your tastes change, right? As children, you don't want this, you don't want that. But then later in life, you discover, oh, I actually like that now. So things change over time. And so it feels like you're no longer willing to accept anything less than what you're worthy of, okay? And you have opened up that world of discovery within yourself, understanding and knowing that you're worthy of far more than you have ever settled for, okay? Because you are a treasure, a um, you are a diamond, you are a ruby, you are a gem. I don't know why these things are coming in as far as like the gems and all that, but I'm seeing them. So it feels like um, you at one point guarded your treasure trove of um, beautifulness and worthiness and all that stuff. It was like this chest was closed and you were sitting on it until the right time. And now is the right time for you to feel loved, for you to feel that self-love and feel the love from your divine creator, to feel the love of all of those positive energies around you, the earth, the sky, the water, right? And it feels like that fire, right? The fire within you. And so at this phase in our lives right now, we're just done. We're done fighting. We're done resisting. We're done settling. And we are going to now move into that phase of, this is about me right now. I have to get me to a good place, to a place of strength, a place of confidence, a place of opposite of scarcity, a place of freedom is the main word I'm hearing here. And I'm hearing trust, 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 right? And so it feels very much like we are ready now. We have said to the universe, you can, I'm not a moving target anymore. I'm ready. I'm ready to move forward into the me that I haven't experienced yet. My best is here. My best is opening up opportunities for me to move forward into something very beautiful in my life. Let's see what the Sacred Spirit has to say. You are traveling, okay? To me, this card feels very much like a couple things. Because this is physical and spiritual, it feels like some of you are planning some kind of trip, or it's going to be unexpectedly offered to you. Could be a retreat somewhere. It feels like some of you may be going on a soul journey, literally, to some place to be in silence, to learn, maybe even learn how to meditate. But it feels like some of you are going to some sort of place where you are nurturing your soul, okay? For some of you, it is an opportunity to open up to your specialness, your gifts, your uniqueness, so you can hear this, whatever it is that that you need to hear and learn and grow. This, so light codes to me, it feels very much like you could be seeing numbers repetitively. You could be experiencing uploads, downloads, whatever it is you call it, but they are messages, and they are internal nudges. They're clarity. You may even be seeing things. I have been a lot more open to the spirit world in the most recent months. I've always had the gift, but it's stronger now than it ever was. And so whatever it is that is upgrading you to another level with your gifts, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, it is happening, and it feels like it is happening now. And it doesn't mean that everything is going to change in an instant. It means you are being prepped for this journey, okay? So those light codes, or whatever that means to you, is happening within you and me, all of us, on this spiritual journey in one way or another. Some people don't realize it because they're not open to spirituality, and that's okay too, because we all have a reason, we all have some purpose for being here. Some of us are here to bring light to others just by being in their present, in them being in your presence. Some of you are here for very important solutions to problems in our world, and some of you are here to open up the door of opportunity to become a spiritual leader in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like some of you have been in some vocation where you are a spiritual teacher, you guide, you counsel people, but you've never made it official. And so this opportunity opens up for you. Let me see if there's anything else in this deck. Whoop. Yeah. Let me just put that aside for right now. Yeah. So it looks like mindful wisdom is here. The mighty owl pops in to say, hey there, I'm going to give you a little advice and energetic boost. But there is mindful wisdom here. As I said, we are on this journey being prepped for this new experience, whatever that might mean to you. But this is all about inner growth, intellectually, spiritually. I feel like it's a lot of intellect, like understanding more your purpose, or understanding the understanding more your spiritual path, right? Your journey, but understanding it in a way, not just that's embracing, not just embracing, understanding. You're coming into some sort of new knowledge, and it feels very much like it's something that's been sort of brewing and gearing up to come forward, to sort of nudge you into this new spiritual intellect. Some of you have been on a journey that sort of, you feel alone because your partner isn't in, I'm going to say into this in air quotes because that's how some people respond, not into this, and not wanting to be part of this spiritual journey as much. It doesn't mean it's wrong to be with them. That's not at all what I'm saying. But some people just are not into the spiritual, only in the physical. And so it feels like for those people who are only in the physical and don't understand the spiritual, they're moving towards something deeper. And they are beginning to ask questions, or they might even be interested in asking you, about your gifts, or they may be experiencing something and not know how to address it. And so they talk to you about it. But I'm telling you, people are coming to some kind of understanding about their own energy, about spiritual energy, about physical energy. And it feels very educational. That's what it feels like. There is a great learning that is going to be happening within everyone. And it's time, because people need to kind of step back and look at how something, if it isn't working, did you include your tapping into your own spiritual energy to understand a different path forward with whatever it is you're trying to do. And that's kind of where I feel like the spiritual Sacred Sunday message is going. It's sort of telling us that way didn't work before. it's time to move forward, this time to include your spiritual gifts, to understand your spirituality, to work in as a team within yourself and with your guides and with the universe. And so it feels like it's that kind of energy coming through. Oops, breeze is picking up. Just want to make sure my cards don't blow away. Yeah. Yep. It's funny how the cards pop out after I say them. This is, can you read it? Expansion. Educate your mind. Educate your mind and senses. See, it does feel very much like this is an opportunity to expand our minds intellectually, to understand and to explore the world of energy, spiritual energy, and to understand the differences between our physical bodies and our spiritual energy. It does feel very much like you just, you know that there's something to it. You know there's something there. And I'm talking to those people who are not as spiritual, but I'm talking to those who are spiritual as well, because I feel like you've sort of been in the same pattern, the same path, and nothing has changed. But now it is time. It is time. And you'll know because it's going to come naturally to you, okay? I think I'm going to look at the Enchanted Map deck next, because I do feel called to that one. The Enchanted Map, because it feels like our journey is it's almost like a train, right? You know how, I don't know if you ever, I saw this episode on Twilight Zone one time about the train to Willoughby. I don't know if any of you ever saw that one, but for some reason that comes to mind, where this person was on a train to Willoughby, and he boarded the train, and I don't remember if no one else was on, but I remember him being fixated on that. And for some of you, I feel, for a lot of us, I feel like our map, our compass needs us to kind of pay attention to where, to not just roam aimlessly, but to listen to our guidance and to follow the path that is best for us. The path that gives you peace when you think about it. The path that gives you excitement, or maybe a pure energy versus a unsettled, chaotic energy, right? And so the Sacred Pool card comes out. This Sacred Pool is it's like your sacred space, right? This is what I'm feeling with this. It's almost like a baptism, right? But not. It is the place where you come to be set free, the place where you come to be washed clean. I'm just going to say what comes in. The space where you go to find you. The space where you go to align with yourself and your spiritual journey. This is your innermost you. This is your sacred pool. And in that space is so much information, so much love, so much guidance, and so much to learn, okay? This is your place. This is where it's your heaven, so to speak. It is your inner, most personal. You can't get more intimate than this with yourself, okay? You just can't, because that is who you are. That's where you are. That's the root of you. That's the place where no one sees. That's that inner space that is a direct line between you your energy, and your divine creator and the universe. It is so expansive and so huge that I just think that's why I feel like our energy is endless, and we go on even after we are done here in our bodies. It's because our soul, our energy is so expansive. There's so much to learn. There's so many lifetimes to experience, so many different things to learn and grow. And I feel very strongly that in this lifetime, the things that we went through, the hardships, the whatever it was, the heartbreaks, the traumas, all of that, those are all important landmarks on our journey, that prep us for the next. And it doesn't mean it's prepping us for a next terrible journey. It means now we've learned and we've grown, and we can share and help others learn and grow from their experiences. And it feels very cyclical, like a new cycle, but not this repeating the same steps. Okay, it feels very much like this journey is it is important to understand that our path forward is a direct result of what we've experienced in the past. Okay, when we're here on this plane and we experience human emotion and pain and grief, trust me, I know grief, but when we experience grief and all of those human emotions, it's not for a punishment for us. It's not a punishment, never is. It's about growth. There's some lesson there that you needed to learn. Oh my God, here we go again. This is amazing. Wizard of Awareness. And it is almost like we become that wise person, that wise soul that has experienced things, that now we are ready. We are ready to move forward. We're ready to handle things in a different way because we've learned that it didn't work the same way. It didn't work for us a certain way, so we had to learn from that. And now we are on this, trailblazing this path, a new chapter where we have learned and we're applying what we've learned to something new. Okay? So it feels like we are in a wide open space now. I've learned a lot. I've finished this. I've done that. Now what? And some of you are wondering, and you have been for a long time, what? You're not guiding me. Tell me what's next, guys. Please tell me. And so it feels like whatever pause you were in, it does feel very much like the key to moving past that. And like I said before, I might have said this before, I'm not sure, but I'm going to say it now. Whatever you've experienced in your past, maybe it was massive pain from a parental person or someone who raised you or someone who guided you. But whatever that was, you've got to release it. And then you come into this open space. It's like, I will say this, I love nature, and I love taking hikes and walking. And one time my kids would say, Mom, yeah, come on, more than once. I've gotten lost. And it is a terrible feeling when you feel like, oh my God, how am I going to get out of here? And when you come to that clearing and now you know where you are, it is a huge release. It's a huge relief to release that fear and that anxiety over how am I going to get, how did I lose my way? How am I going to get out of here? It feels very much like there is that energy of coming to that clearing. So within our heart and soul, we are ready to move forward, to take ourselves out of whatever toxic energy was there hanging on and keeping us in its power, right? But whatever that toxic energy was, it doesn't hold a candle to you, to your strength, to your wisdom after having experienced things. I think some of you, we all have a tendency to look back on things and want to point the finger and blame people and say how horrible it was, and to, share stories with others. And, it feels good when you get somebody's sympathy. But here's the thing. That's not where we're supposed to go with this. Whatever we've learned on our way, whatever we've experienced, whatever pain was there, whatever wrongdoing someone did to you, it doesn't belong with you anymore. It has to go. And it feels like it's pushing and pushing and pushing on you to let it go, to release it, to move forward, to move into a space of your own sacred space of purification from that toxic energies, okay? That has held you back more and more and more. And your light needs to shine. Your light needs to shine. You need to live the life and walk the path of somebody who is lucrative and blessed in all ways. And to feel that blessing even before you actually see it. To move forward into that space of beautifulness, okay? I feel like some of you could be rolling your eyes right now. Yeah, well, she hasn't lived my life. She doesn't know. My whole family has a history of being poor, whatever. But, or not whatever. I'm not saying that to be like not caring. But what I'm saying is, I feel like some people might have that energy or that distrust where they might be saying, she doesn't understand. And I'm tired of hearing reader after reader after reader say something good is coming. The reason why they say that, and the reason why we all say that, and for me, I know personally, I would never say that if it wasn't what I was feeling for you. It is an opportunity to help yourself move forward by doing your part, by allowing yourself to open up and let go of things that hurt you, things that surrounded you that were not good. Things on your path in your life that happened the way they did. Why do human beings, why would we put ourselves through that misery again by reliving it every day, by talking about it every day, by focusing on it all the time? Why do we want to stay in that energy? It's called resistance and not letting go of what happened. Not allowing yourself to believe that whatever happened in that situation, it's gone from you. You are no longer in that situation, but you have to understand that that situation happened in the past. It has to stay in the past in order for you to move on to something more beautiful. Okay? Because some of you are capable of so much. You are so capable of lighting up this world. And the dimness, what's that character, that Peanuts character that has a dust cloud following him? It's like you walk around with this darkness following you. And some of you may be wondering why is she saying that? Because that's negative? No, that's your energy that follows you. I don't know about you, but I don't want that following me. I want lightness. I want light energy following me, surrounding me, enveloping me, and not looking back. Someone asked me the other day, I had an experience in a relationship that was not good for me whatsoever. And someone asked me the other day, do you ever think about that person? And I said, actually, I don't think about that situation at all. That person, no. It's really not a matter of, I'm thinking, I wonder how they are, I wonder what they're doing, da da da. I don't. I have moved so far past that. And I am proud of myself for allowing myself to move on. Some people never want to move on because they feel they would lose any connection to that person or situation. And if that's what moving on is to you and you need to do that, then you need to do that, because it does you no good. You are not on their path, you are on yours. Stay in your lane, stay in your energy, not someone else's, because that doesn't do you any good. Okay? Let me just shuffle these. It is time to have a better life, guys. It's time. It's time to have a better life. It's time to choose a better life. No longer in the deep freeze. No longer guarding yourself against something that isn't there. And that's what fear does to you, keeping yourself from something that you could be doing that is good for you, or being of service, or even falling in love, allowing yourself to be loved. Those days of you protecting, your soul is begging you to move forward. This is an 8. It's 26, but if 2 plus 6 is 8, 8 is infinity. To me, that's what that means. And it feels like you've been in a loop, a cycle of the same thing over and over again. People can't get too close because you don't want to take a chance that they'll hurt you. You don't want to take a chance of feeling guilty because you made a decision that that wasn't you feel would not be good for you. And then in the end you can say, see, I told you so. I knew you'd make a bad decision. Those thoughts, those energies gotta go. They've been dormant within you, or I shouldn't say dormant. They've been kind of you've been allowing them to live rent free in your head, right? And I want to say that this deep freeze, it's got to go. It did come in upside down, so I will say that. So that means that you are on your way to removing those that phase in your life and moving on to something else. The Bone Collector card also came in, and that is a number 1. Okay, this is a I feel like this is more like how do I say this? I feel like the Bone Collector is more, in this case, an indication that you've been in control all this time, in control of letting. Let me give you an example. I know people that collect things and they never ever use them. There's no reason for it. They kind of just let things build up. I guess you could say some people could be hoarders maybe, or they just can't let go of certain things. And so all the bones that I'm just going to say it the way it comes in, the way I feel. All the bones that you've collected, the experiences and the, like I said, the hurts and the pains and all of that, you've allowed them to stay within your energy. And it's time for them to go away. You don't need those old relics anymore. You don't need those old things to remind you that, this was a terrible experience for me. You don't need those to remind you that you were angry or hurt or confused or cheated on or whatever it was. You don't need any of that. And so I'm thinking some of this is to literally purge things that are from your past that are very bad for you, not good for you, and they trigger you. Get rid of it. Move on from it. Let it go. All right? And I know this card has different meanings for different situations, but the book always gives a generic explanation for that. But I'm telling you, this is something that is personal to you, that you have, that you're hanging on to, that you don't need any longer. It's just taking up space. It's cluttering up your environment, physically and emotionally, and it's time to go. Um, we, I want to say the bones also represent a um, like a permanent fixture, kind of, but whatever. So what I'm trying to say is, um, things are not set in stone. Okay, so whatever has happened to you, um, that event is past. The experience is gone. There's just not a reason to hold on to any part of that any longer. And so I wanted to tell you that I feel like this is another indication that you've got to let those old things go. That's the main message I'm hearing here, because that brings in balance. Okay, it brings in balance, something that you don't have right now. So follow your heart, follow your guidance, and let go. When I was in a situation, um, I don't want to say how many years ago because I can't remember exactly, but I was in a really unhealthy, toxic situation that went far too long than it should have. And it wasn't even about a physical romance, because um, it there were a couple of encounters in the beginning, but then it wasn't anymore. And honestly, that's the truth. It was like, it just didn't feel right after a little bit, and I just didn't anymore. And so it felt like it was um, a sign to move on and let go of all of that, right? And it took me a while to finally move on and say goodbye. But when I did that, I still had some of this person's things. Um, and it took me a little bit after I said goodbye to purge everything. And I mean everything that even came close to um, that person, to reminding me of that person, because I didn't want to know. I didn't want to look back. I didn't want to feel those feelings of yuck and disgust any longer. And um, disgust over the situation, disgust over how I felt duped, that feeling of just everything felt wrong. Okay. And so if you're in a situation where you feel like that, you've got to act on that. Um, I waited too long, but I don't regret it, because now I know how to handle situations, how to not get involved in situations that aren't good for me, and all of that. So I also know now that I can just, I moved on. I purged. I got rid of things, and that's what they're asking you here. Follow follow your heart, right? Get rid of things. Follow your guidance, even if it feels painful. Do it, because and I am in no way a therapist, a mental health therapist. I'm just telling you from experience that I felt guided to just purge, and we did that one day. The person that I am with now helped me, and he was very understanding, and he helped me to box up a few things. Some things I literally burned, and it wasn't out of hatred, it was out of symbolism, to be rid of that situation, those toxic energies, and to remove anything negative or less than pure within my heart. And so the talisman appears and tells us, follow that guidance. You follow that compass, even if you don't know where it's going. Rely on that compass, because that is you. That's your soul. That's your path. That's your spiritual movement forward. Okay, I feel like this message is coming to an end. um I just want to see if there's any other cards to do right now. I want to do the talking to heaven cards right here. This is soul cards, okay? So let me just find out if there's anything that we need to know. Any last word before we call it a day? Anything here, guides? I don't know why I'm seeing white feathers. Well, some of you may be seeing those. If you do, it's a sign. It's a sign from someone who is, I feel like it's a sign from someone's energy that may have passed. And they are telling you it's not your fault. I think that's your own soul telling you it's not your fault. You've got to intellectually understand that, as well as spiritually, physically, emotionally. It is not your fault. Okay? It happened. It was what it was, and now it's gone. And now you have to allow yourself not to move forward in regret, not to move forward in guilt or frustration or any kind of bad feelings. It's time to move on with light energy. And I just saw a bunny, and that is to me, bunnies, they're all around me lately. They're in my backyard. They're everywhere. Of course, they're in nature. But for some reason, I feel very connected to rabbits lately. Rabbits represent fertility. They represent, oh my goodness, there he goes. I'm going to see if you can see him real quick. Do you see him? Wait, where'd he go? Oh, he went down into there. Wait, there he is. There he is. Bye, Mr. Bunny. So, anyways, I wanted to tell you, I'm sorry about the camera. Just got to fix that. That I feel like that is a sign of coming out of something and moving into something more with a longevity. I'm so sorry, my camera is it's windy out here today, but it feels like you are moving into some sort of abundance, and some abundance that comes in for the long haul, okay, because you've made big strides within yourself. So I'm going to stop this reading now, because I feel like this is the end of this, and I feel like you've gotten a lot of information, and I feel like a lot of energy has been shared here. So until next time, guys, I wish you all the best. Beautiful love, energy, and light. And always remember, you are the fire, right? You are the moon, you are the sun, you are the stars, you are the gems. You are so precious. And I want you to have those thoughts and believe in that within yourself. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Until next time, namaste.